The bulletin called this a testimony. I'm not sure whether this is more a confession than a testimony, but we'll have to see. The last song we sang is Longing for Faith. In my life, the question of having light before me telling me what to do has too often been absent. I can think of two instances where I really didn't know quite what to do, but I made a decision based on the circumstances I was in, and here they are. After a year of seminary, I was asked to teach a Bible school training Sunday school teachers in the BC churches, British Columbia. I suppose I could do this, I said to myself, but was it God's call? I wasn't at all sure of that. What if I fell on my face trying to teach people? I had never taught people anything. Even individually, I wasn't so sure, although I'd entered into many discussions with people. But whether I'd ever taught anybody anything, I wasn't that sure. Whether did I know how to organize a lesson and to do this for a whole year every day, or at least 6 months? I wasn't at all sure. Well, it turned out it went seemingly well, at least I thought so, and the students that I had, many of them kept in touch with me long after that, many years after that. In hindsight, I had to say to myself, yeah, maybe it was God's call that directed me into that profession for that temporary period. One morning, after I'd got home, I was a farmer, and to teach a winter Bible school was all right on a prairie farm because you weren't doing anything on the farm worthwhile anyway during the winter time. Anyway, one morning in June of 1955, I received a call from Elmer Ediger of Newton, Kansas. He was in the General Conference office there. They needed somebody to take the place of one of their missionaries for a 6-week period. This fellow was a friend of mine. I knew him well. And he wanted to go home to get married. Would I take his place? Sort of hold things together there for a while he was away. Well, I thought for a minute, and I said, well, sure, I think I can try that. So I did. Crop was planted. 6 weeks was not that long a time. My brothers could keep an eye on things until the harvest time, when it was pretty well time I would get back home anyway. So I said yes. Little did I know that same afternoon, William Snyder, Executive Secretary of MCC from Akron, called me and asked, since I was going to Mexico, how did he know it this soon? But he did. If I'm going to Mexico anyway for the summer, would I consider staying there for the balance of the year, starting in the end of summer and for 1 year? This was, of course, considerably different kind of a complication that had entered in. I agreed finally, ending up staying for 2 years. Many young people gave up a year or two for voluntary service at that time. Was there any reason why I could not do the same? Well, and so I agreed to that. Now again, was this a call, or was this, what was it? What was I doing? Was I looking for adventure? Was it just William Snyder who called me? Was the call from God? Or who knows? Anyway, I know that 25 years later, I took Helen to Mexico to show her where I had spent 2 years of my life. We had worshiped in a small congregation of perhaps 30 people. That group was then, 25 years later, building a new building to house 800 members. Was I a small cog in that process? I don't think so. I think we had very capable people took over after I left. So I don't think I'll take the credit for that one. Tempting as it is. But of those many years, helping to hold things together so that new people could build up that church community. That is my confession, my testimony. I don't know. I think now that it's over, I think maybe God was leading me in that direction. But why couldn't I, like so many people, say, yes, God is leading me in this direction. Tomorrow I will do this because God is leading me in that direction. I've never operated that way. I've never been that kind of a person. Maybe that's a confession, and maybe that's all right. I hope so.
Thank you, Kevin. And Aaron, I'm certain that you have taught lots of people. It may not have been in the formal sense, but just with the questions that you raise sometimes leads us to reflect, as Kevin was suggesting we need to do, to think about how we would